Here we roast startups. You will learn what to do and more importantly, what not to do. Besides that, your startup will get exposure. You can submit your startup on Twitter, on TigerTeamX. Yeah, let's get to it. Today we are roasting EnaLog.app. EnaLog.app is self-described as the simplest product analytics software. Simple yet powerful, track events, analyze, run tests, and make data-driven decisions. It's a product by Sam Newby, and it's already released on Product Hunt. In my words, EnaLog captures events and show them. I think that's a little bit easier way to explain it. Now, the good parts of this product is that you got paying customers. It's a relatively simple service, and you decided to focus initially on the simple things here. So if I go to the site here, you can see it looks like this here. There's tracked around 26,000 events here. There's like some data here about like how it works, etc. So yeah, pretty nice. And I would like to change some things with this here, but I will come into that a little bit later. Now, the main thing I would say for you, Sam, is that I think you are having a non-productive focus. And let me explain you why. Like, I saw quite a few tweets that you're doing Apache Kafka. You're changing to Apache Kafka. And I also saw in your profile that you have AWS bills racking up. And I could imagine you also have serverless. Now, the thing is, what kind of value does this provide for your users that you have Apache Kafka? You might say, hey, I need it because it needs to be scalable. Well, you're not Google. You have 26,000 here. Like, I might be taking something out of context here. I don't know exactly. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But when I look at this here, you have 26,000 events, right? If I go back here, this is like a document of SQLite, which is known to not be like the most fastest database in the world. And this is 20 years old. This is a speed comparison. This is 20 years old, and it's running on 20-year-old hardware. They say don't even use this anymore. It's like it's not good anymore. This one here could send 1,000 events. It could save 1,000 events in 220 milliseconds, right? So that means that your events here that you have, they could be saved in like, I don't know, like 12 seconds, something like that. And this is what you have accumulated over months of production data. That means that you most likely don't need all of that fancy technology, and it will steer your focus away from what is providing value for your clients, and that gives opportunity to your competitors to start making something better that people would pay for, right? So I think what you have is a really good idea, and I think what you should just focus on is different. Now, what would I focus on for you? I would focus on the onboarding. The onboarding was a little bit cumbersome. It was not too bad. Like, I tried a lot worse from billion-dollar companies. But yeah, it was definitely not easy. The Python version was not working. The keys were not inserted. So when you make an account, I would just say, hey, here we start a project for you, like test project, blah, and then we make some keys for you and we make a name for you, and then it just inserted. And then I can just copy paste that out. You could also make a curl, because then you can just test it locally in your console. That would help a lot with retaining and not having so much churn when people sign up but they don't continue. I don't know where your analytics is with this here, but I could imagine that is some things that would improve a lot. Then I would improve the copywriting. So there is quite a few things here. Like, this here is probably way too big. This here is way too big. And just improving on the things in general, I think would make it a lot better. Like, I would have a reason to sign up, and then I would make the dashboard nice. So as I see it, the key feature here is that I want to be able to make a metric here, and I want to be able to not metric. I have my events here, and I have metrics here. So I made a counter and I made a bar chart. But like, if you could make this as a dashboard, this would be super useful for me. because right now I have a counter here, but I have to click on it to see what is happening here. With this one here, I have to click on it to see what is here, and oh, it's empty. Like, it's very cumbersome way to check this here. I would focus just completely on making this here really nice, and the events like here, searching like all the kind of things you have here, I would just focus on making that super nice, and then I would not do any other things. I would just continue drilling down on this, because you got paying customers. That's really good. And if you start just making things better, there's a lot of small subtle bugs. Like, for example, here the logo is missing. There's some things that are just like bad UX, UI, and I can go in more details with this if you want. But this is the idea. If you focus on that, like, I would have a reason to buy it, because then I could make a dashboard and I could just click, and I pay $8 a month or something like that, and I can get my dashboard for this, because right now I'm actually making my own dashboards, and I always have to make dashboards for each individual project. If I could use this for multiple different projects and I pay $8 or $20 a month, it's a very good deal for me. I wouldn't have to pay developers to do this. But now it's like, it's a little bit like not that nice. Like, I have to click on each of these things here, and it's a little bit slow. And I think it's slow because you're probably running like a lot of weird databases in the background. Just having a VPS, SQLite database will probably save you there. So that would be the last thing. But yeah, as I said, you have a winning product. Just double down on the things that work. Don't worry about the technical things there. Just keeping it simple. I would say that's my biggest takeaway from this.